The story takes place in a small village in the north of England during the Victorian era. There was a young woman named Mary who lived with her family in a cottage on the outskirts of the village. Mary was a kind and gentle soul, but she was also known for being a bit of a dreamer. She often spent her time wandering the woods surrounding her home, lost in her own thoughts. One day, while Mary was out for a walk, she came across a clearing in the woods that she had never seen before. In the center of the clearing was a small, circular stone structure that looked like a well. Mary was curious, so she approached the structure and peered inside. To her surprise, Mary saw a figure sitting at the bottom of the well. It was a man, dressed in a long, flowing robe, but his face was obscured by shadows. Mary tried to call out to the man, but he didn't respond. She thought he might be hurt, so she climbed down into the well to see if she could help him. As she got closer to the man, Mary realized that he wasn't human. His eyes glowed with a strange light, and his skin was pale and translucent. Mary felt a strange sense of dread wash over her, but she couldn't bring herself to leave. The man looked up at Mary, and his lips curled into a sinister smile. "You shouldn't be here, child," he said in a voice that sounded like a whisper on the wind. "This is no place for humans." Mary tried to speak, but the words wouldn't come. She was frozen with fear. The man stood up and approached her, his eyes burning with an unholy fire. "I know what you desire, child," he said. "You desire to escape this mundane existence and experience something more." Mary didn't understand what he was talking about, but she felt a strange sense of excitement mixed with dread. The man reached out and touched her cheek with his cold, bony hand. "I can grant you your desire, child," he said, "but there is a price." Mary didn't know what the price was, but she felt a strange compulsion to agree. She nodded her head, and the man smiled. He took her hand and led her out of the well, back into the forest. Mary never saw the man again, but she never forgot her encounter. She began to have strange dreams, filled with images of the man and a world beyond her understanding. She felt a growing sense of alienation from her family and friends, as if she were no longer a part of their world. Mary never told anyone about what happened in the woods. She knew that they wouldn't believe her, and she feared that they would think she had gone mad. She lived out the rest of her days in a state of quiet despair, haunted by the memories of her encounter with the man in the well. To this day, people in the village whisper about Mary, the girl who went mad after a walk in the woods. They say that she was possessed by a demon and that she never recovered from the experience. But no one knows the truth about what happened to Mary or the price she paid for her desire to escape the mundane world. The years passed, and Mary's life became a tapestry woven with threads of fear and longing. The whispers of the villagers, the strange dreams that haunted her nights, the growing sense of isolation all coalesced into a suffocating reality. She retreated further into herself, finding solace in solitary walks through the woods, seeking a connection to the inexplicable pull she felt towards the clearing where she had encountered the man one crisp autumn afternoon. Driven by a desperate need to understand the inexplicable, Mary returned to the clearing. The well, a gaping black maw in the earth, seemed to beckon her. She stood on the edge, her heart pounding in her chest, her breath catching in her throat. It felt like a homecoming, a recognition of a place she had always belonged. Despite the terror that coursed through her veins, she cautiously descended the well, her fingers clutching the rough, cold stone. The darkness enveloped her, and the air grew thick with a strange, metallic scent. As her feet touched the ground at the bottom, the faint glow of the man's eyes illuminated the space, his spectral form sitting on a stone bench. "You have returned," he said, his voice a low, resonant hum that seemed to vibrate within her bones. Mary, her voice trembling, managed a single word. "Why?" The man chuckled, a sound that chilled her to the core. "Why, child? Because you are a part of something greater than you can imagine. You are a bridge between worlds, a vessel for power that sleeps within you." He stood, his form shifting and shimmering, as if made of smoke and moonlight. "I saw your longing, the yearning for something more. You were chosen, Mary, to be a conduit, to open the door between realms." The words echoed in her mind, a terrifying yet alluring revelation. This wasn't a dream. This wasn't madness. It was reality, a reality far beyond her comprehension. "What do you want from me?" Mary asked, her voice strained. "I want you to learn, to understand," he said, his his voice taking on a softer, more intimate tone. You are a part of a lineage, a legacy that stretches back through time. You are not alone, Mary. There are others like you, and we have been waiting for you to awaken. He beckoned her to come closer. You see, child, the world you perceive is only a fragment of the truth. There are layers, dimensions, realities beyond your understanding, and you have the potential to unlock them. Hesitantly, she moved towards him. He touched her forehead, and a wave of warmth, of energy, flowed through her. Images flooded her mind, ancient symbols, powerful entities, a universe teeming with life, both beautiful and terrifying. "This is your birthright," he said, his voice a whisper in her ear. "This is your destiny. You will learn to control this power, to walk between worlds. You will be a bridge, a conduit, a protector, but you must be willing to pay the price." He stepped back, his form dissolving into the darkness. "Choose wisely, Mary. Your decision will shape the fate of both worlds." Mary stood alone in the well, the echoes of his words ringing in her ears. She had a choice: to remain in the safe, familiar world she knew, or to embrace the unknown, the dangerous, the powerful. The fear was palpable, but so was an intoxicating sense of purpose, of destiny. She climbed back up the well, the world around her seeming both familiar and alien. She walked back to her cottage, her mind swirling with thoughts and images, the man's words echoing in her heart. She was no longer just Mary, the girl who lived on the edge of the village. She was something more, something ancient and powerful. The next few days were a blur of unsettling dreams and overwhelming emotions. She felt the power within her, a dormant energy waiting to be awakened. She felt a pull, an irresistible force drawing her back to the well. She returned to the clearing, the well beckoning her like a siren's song. She descended, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and excitement. This time, the man was waiting for her, his form clearer, more substantial. "You have returned," he said, his voice a low, resonant hum. "You have chosen to embrace your destiny." He led her through a hidden passage, a tunnel that seemed to extend into infinity. They emerged into a vast, subterranean chamber filled with swirling colors, pulsating light, and strange, ethereal beings. This was the other side, the hidden world he had spoken of. "Welcome, Mary," he said, his voice echoing in the vastness of the chamber. "This is your home now." Mary stood at the threshold, a woman transformed. The world she had known, the world of her village, seemed distant and small in comparison to the vastness of this otherworldly realm. She felt a sense of belonging, of acceptance that she had never experienced before. The man, whom she now knew as Ethan, led her through the chamber, introducing her to the beings that inhabited this hidden world. They were creatures of light and shadow, of energy and spirit, each possessing unique powers and knowledge. They welcomed her with warmth and curiosity, recognizing her as one of their own, a long-lost member of their lineage. Ethan explained that Mary was a descendant of the ancient guardians, a line of beings who had the power to bridge the worlds. This lineage had been dormant for centuries, but now, through Mary, it was awakening. She learned that the guardians were tasked with protecting the delicate balance between the realms, ensuring that the forces of chaos did not spill over into the human world. They were guardians of the veil, the barrier that separated the mundane and the magical, but this balance was now threatened. A darkness was rising, a force that sought to break the veil and unleash chaos upon both worlds. Ethan revealed that Mary's power, her ability to control the energy that flowed between realms, was the key to stopping this threat. He began to train her, sharing his knowledge and skills. He taught her how to control her energy, how to manipulate the veil, how to harness the powers that lay dormant within her. Mary discovered an ability to move between realms, to see the hidden currents of energy that flowed through the universe. Her journey was filled with challenges and trials, pushing her to her limits. She faced creatures of unimaginable power, navigated treacherous landscapes, and learned to control her own emotions, which now carried the weight of the destiny of both worlds. The training was grueling, demanding both physical and mental strength, but Mary persevered. She had found a purpose, a meaning to her existence. She was no longer just Mary, the girl from the village. She was a guardian, a protector, a force for good. One day, during a training session, Ethan sensed a shift in the energy surrounding them. The veil was thinning, the darkness growing stronger. "It's time," he said, his voice filled with urgency. "The time for you to awaken your full potential." He led her to a hidden chamber, a place of immense power, where a powerful artifact, the Veilstone, pulsed with energy. This was the key to unlocking her true potential, the key to defeating the rising darkness. "This is your destiny, Mary," Ethan said, his eyes filled with pride and hope. "You will be the one to protect both worlds." He placed his hand on hers, channeling a surge of energy into her. The Veilstone resonated, its energy flowing through her, awakening the full extent of her power. Mary felt a surge of energy coursing through her, a connection to something ancient and powerful, a sense of unity with the very fabric of existence. She knew then that she was ready. She was ready to face the darkness, ready to become the guardian she was meant to be. As she stepped out of the chamber, a surge of energy pulsed through the hidden world, a wave of power that resonated across the veil. The darkness sensed her awakening, and it roared in fury. Mary stood ready, the Veilstone pulsating in her hand, her power surging through her veins. It was time to face the darkness, to protect the world she had come to cherish, to fulfill the destiny that had called her